Okay, we got a little metaphysical, spiritual talk today. So, why am I an avatar right now? Let's talk about it. It's a health and wellness channel. It's a health and wellness show. I talk about food, sleep, exercise, detoxification, and mindfulness behavior all the time. But now let's talk about the spirit. So you got the mind, you got the body, you got the spirit. The body is a vessel. It is obviously temporary. It gets older over time. You can delay its aging, but really at the end of the day, the difference between a healthy person and an unhealthy person is that the healthy person is actually just dying slower than the unhealthy person. And that also doesn't mean that the healthy person couldn't have some traumatic, horrible thing happen to them and it takes them out before the unhealthy person. So that's the body. The body is just that. The mind. The mind is a tool. And the tool of the mind is to accept the stimulation of the body and then to carry out some instructions for the body to do when it's time to do stuff. Pick up a pencil, go get something to eat, say hi to your best friend. There's something that tells the mind, oh, there's Bobby, go say hi to Bobby, right? But now we're talking about the spirit. The body, the mind, and the spirit. Now, the spirit is the one that's closest to God. If you believe in God, Yahweh, Jesus Christ. The universe is another form of it. The spirit is right up through there. It is connected to all things all the time. It is connected to your subconscious. The spirit is. The spirit is some kind of energy, and energy can be neither created nor destroyed. That's what they say. I think that we are spirits in a material world. That's the police. We are spirits in a material world, are spirits. So the spirit is here, walking around Earth, using our bodies like avatars, and getting stuff done. Hopefully creating what would be the will of God, hopefully. And you then become responsible to take care of that body, to take care of your community and the things around you, and to live your greatest life because it is a fleeting one. And when you're done with this avatar, you may get a chance to use another one. That's what I think. That's what I think. There is this, he's a cell biologist. His name is Dr. Bruce Lipton. And he said,
we can't go to Mars, but we really want to know what Mars is all about. So what do? We send up something called the rover. And the rover doesn't look like a human. It's a vehicle with wheels and all kinds of stuff like that, and it moves all over the surface. I say, yeah, but it's the equivalent of a human. Why? It takes the environment of Mars and converts it into what? Vision, smell, taste, sound, all of these things. Why? Because this is how we read the environment. So the rover has receptors to read the environment and pick up this information. But the important part about it is this. The rover is not an isolated mechanism on its own. It's being driven by somebody at NASA. And that's sending a signal up and it's being received by an antenna. But it's not a one-way street because the rover, in traveling around Mars, picks up the information from Mars and sends it back through the same antenna to the source. So the guy at NASA has an experience of what being on Mars would be like. Well, they hit me. I said, oh my God, we're Earth rovers. That we receive information, experience information, and then return it to the source.
That rover kind of represents our bodies with the signal not necessarily coming from within, but from without. Now, if one says that everything from within happens without. That's the law of correspondence. That's definitely one way to say it. The way you feel inside, what you see and believe, filters the things that you see, say, do out there in the world. And that's it. Your spirit is driving this ship. Well, your ship, my ship, our ships. Why then would you be so good to it? I mean, I guess you could be as bad as you want to be almost, right? Because if you really believe that you're going to live forever, then I guess you could tear it up in this world. I guess you could, but make good choices, because karma and dharma, those things are real. So although we may get to do this a couple times in my guesstimation, certainly every time you should do it, you want to improve on yourself from the last time. That's what I believe. I got a little belief. I'm sharing it with you because I'm sharing it with you. And then what if it was true? Or what if it makes sense to you? I mean, I say if you leave one or some of the things that I'm saying right now, one or some of the things, let's talk about it. Share that with a friend. Speak it up. And then are we going to be able to help each other, to love each other, to be good to one another, have more patience with each other, take a little bit more time to smell the grass, if you would. Enjoy the avatar that you are by taking care of it and knowing that your connection to God is the connection that's driving the body along this earth. It's just driving it around. And because you are now being driven by a God spirit, be responsible with all of the power that you have. I think that's all I want to say about that. I think that the spirit is moving within the body, but it can't be there forever. That's what I say. What are your thoughts on that? Because I'd love to know what you think about that. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Oh my goodness. Again, if you agree with one or some of the things that I'm talking about right here, right now, tell a friend, tell a loved one, and let's get this thing going. Let's get this together so that we move on earth well and as one. One band, one sound?
One band, one sound!
Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you later.